At the time of acquisition, only 26% of our customers had access to basic telephone service, and 1%, those living on the border with a nearby town, had access to broadband internet service.
Shahogan sitting way over there. There's nothing. Not even a TV antenna. There's no electric. Yeah, they need something out there. They need some kind of communication.
Everett Baldwin is one of the 100,000 plus Navajo people who live in New Mexico's Navajo Nation. Here, progress has learned to be patient. People make do by doing without. And that includes phone and internet services. Estimates indicate that fewer than 40% of households have plain old telephone service. Then, a small rural carrier communications company with a vision to bring communication services to this area makes the right connections and begins to conquer New Mexico's digital divide.
It's been an experience. I'm kind of enjoying myself. Whereas before I didn't know what was going on behind that hill over there or over across the Arizona state or up in Colorado.
Sacred Wind is unique in that we're not a tribally owned company, but in all ways our focus is tribal. We hire and train mostly Navajo and other tribal individuals, a number of whom are Army, Navy, and Marine veterans who bring with them well-developed technical skills and a solid work ethic. Sacred Wind was recognized nationally in 2009 as the most inspiring small business in America as part of an American Express NBC Shine a Light contest.
Thousands of inspirational businesses were nominated for the NBC Universal American Express Shine a Light program. This week, we finally announced the winner, who will receive $100,000 in grant money and marketing support. Entrepreneur John Badal was touched by the plight of New Mexico's Navajo population. He saw a people beset by social ills and a high rate of unemployment. Seeing that 4 out of 10 homes on the Navajo reservation lacked phone service, John started Sacred Wind Communications. The company is building a state-of-the-art telecommunications network, serving the Navajo people and 6,000 homes without access to phone service.
I know a lot of people voted for us and having confidence in us, and we're proud to say that, giving back to the community, doing what's good for the community.
Providing access to the internet for the first time for many, Sacred Wind is allowing Navajo adults to search for jobs, children to do research for homework, and finally gives the chance for many of these people to connect to the rest of the world.
It's something most of us take for granted every day, but today about 1,500 people on the Navajo Nation are celebrating they finally have basic phone and high-speed internet. Navajo Nation President Ben Shelley was at the Nageezi Chapter House today, letting people know about the new infrastructure built by Sacred Wind Technology. One woman we talked to said she's happy that she won't have to walk a half mile just to make a phone call.
I can just get up and call my daughters that I'm okay, and call friends and tell them come and pick me up for church. Now I don't have to walk to the chapter to make a phone call.
Sacred Wind Communications has been improving the life for tribal members and rural communities throughout northwest New Mexico for more than a decade. From providing basic phone service to the far reaches of the Navajo Nation, to bringing high-speed internet to previously unserved homes, businesses, and public schools in rural New Mexico.
We've never had phone services before, but we do have it now for emergency purposes.
So who is Sacred Wind Communications?
Sacred Wind started as an idea from the former New Mexico president of Quest, John Badal.
I realized that Quest was using the wrong technology, limiting themselves to copper landline, which was extremely expensive in sparsely populated areas, which required a lot of right-of-way on federal lands. I left Quest in 2004 to develop a different model.
I'm Catherine Nicolau, External Affairs Director at Sacred Wind. In 2006, only 26% of our customers had access to emergency 911 and no broadband. Today, over 90% of our customers have access to emergency service and some of the highest internet speeds in northwest New Mexico.
Serving one of the poorest and most sparsely populated areas in the nation, with just over 10,000 homes spread over an area larger than the states of Rhode Island and Delaware combined, creates many challenges.
It costs much more to operate in remote areas. Installation costs for new customer alone can be up to $8,000 per connection versus $800 in Albuquerque.
But Sacred Wind has successfully met that challenge.
The dream that Mr. Badal had it's really working, and it's really working in the community. His dream is happening for a lot of people out here.
We have interlaced the varying technologies together. I don't think there's another company providing landline services that mixes technologies the way we do, allowing us to provide services to areas that otherwise would not have service for years, if ever.
Hello, my name is Ed Minyazi, represent 6 chapters on the Eastern Agency area. Quite pleased with Sacred Wind. Sacred Wind has always been there, and they've been very quite dependable.
Times have changed, and Sacred Wind is leading the industry in expanding high-speed internet in the most remote and rural areas of New Mexico.
SW DeNayNet, a Sacred Wind affiliate, secured funding from the FCC Federal Connect America Fund, the only rural telecom company in New Mexico to be selected in the year-long auction process. We will be expanding access to phone and internet service to 1,000 new customers over a 400 square mile area.
In June of 2019, Sacred Wind again demonstrated its zeal to use a variety of technologies by finalizing an agreement with the Microsoft Airband initiative, utilizing cutting-edge microwave technology to expand fast and reliable internet service to hard-to-reach rural communities.
Through the use of many technologies, we serve the remote areas of northwest New Mexico. We use copper wire to serve our original customers, fiber optic cable and fixed wireless to reach homes in the far-flung regions of the Navajo Nation. With the financial support from the federal and New Mexico Universal Service Funds, Sacred Wind has successfully expanded landline and broadband service.
Sacred Wind is regarded as a remarkable success story by the USDA and has received national recognition, winning the American Express Shine a Light contest. Sacred Wind has been recognized with numerous other awards. Sacred Wind is making a difference in the lives of New Mexicans as well as their 48 employees.
For over a decade, Sacred Wind has expanded phone and broadband service, leveling the digital divide between urban and rural New Mexico communities, giving rural New Mexicans the opportunity to find employment, open doors to internet businesses, children to utilize the internet to do homework, bringing the world into their home. We at Sacred Wind Communications are ready for the challenges the future brings.
My name is Virginia Yazzie Ballinger. I am a business owner in Gallup, New Mexico. I own Navajo Spirit Southwestern Wear. I'm also a public official with the Navajo Nation government. I am the chapter vice president at Red Rock chapter south of Gallup. And that is how I have become affiliated with Sacred Wind Communications. They are a company that is socially responsible. They look at the welfare of the whole community, not just to provide internet service, but how are the people doing? What are their needs? And they are willing to do what needs to be done to uplift people in my community.
Yate, my name is Dee Santillanes, and I've been working at Sacred Wind for 3 years. I'm a second-generation employee here at Sacred Wind, meaning my mother also works here. I like working for Sacred Wind because they recognize my talents in such a way that I'm able to help the Navajo people. My favorite memory working here at Sacred Wind was when our CEO, John Badal, gave me this golden eagle for all of my hard work I did on a really important project. On any given day, we could be hooking up a Navajo artist to the internet or a child to have educational needs met. We could be putting in telephone service for the first time for someone with medical needs. We're not just a utility service. We're a utility company that cares about the people in Northwest New Mexico. Dineh ba na nish. We are working for the Navajo people.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us here today. I am Catherine with Sacred Wind. It is inspiring to see stories such as that of Sacred Wind. It's inspiring to see how far an idea can go when individuals come together to work on a common mission. And these accomplishments are not just the success of Sacred Wind. When companies like Sacred Wind succeed, New Mexico succeeds. Communities are lifted up and businesses thrive. But none of this would be possible without the support of our congressional delegation, our state legislators, and local leaders, many of whom are participating with us today. So let's hear from a few of them now.
Hello, Senator Ray Lujan here. I want to congratulate the team at Sacred Wind Communications on today's unveiling of this long-awaited fiber route. Your work will help close the digital divide for thousands of New Mexicans from Albuquerque to Gallup. Here in our state, we know the difference between fast internet, slow internet, and no internet. And the COVID-19 pandemic has made us even more aware of the need for high-speed internet. Broadband is essential for our students to learn, for small businesses to thrive, for doctors to continue seeing patients, and for all of us to stay connected during these challenging times. By deploying reliable broadband to the northwest corner of New Mexico, Sacred Wind is helping us meet those needs during this pandemic and beyond. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of today's event.
I want to really give my sincerest congratulations to Sacred Wind. This accomplishment that you have to run fiber from Albuquerque to Gallup is really terrific. And I can tell you my whole life I've been working to get broadband to these rural communities, and there's nothing more important. It's important for businesses, it's important for schools, it's important for the whole community and for economic development. So congratulations to Sacred Wind, and you did it in a pandemic. Congrats.
This is Patty Lundstrom, State Rep, District 9. Sacred Wind redundant fiber route will be an important asset for business in McKinley County because it will allow for dependable voice and internet connectivity. Being able to communicate with customers and vendors is important to every business. Business owners in McKinley County are no strangers to how devastating an outage can be for business operations. Sacred Wind has corrected that risk for business by building a new and separate fiber route from Gallup to Albuquerque. Imagine how important this is for all of us, the kids in school, businesses, healthcare. Thank you, Sacred Wind, for investing in our community.
Hello, this is Brenda Curtright, Executive Director for the Grand Cibola County Chamber of Commerce and New Mexico Mining Museum. It is awesome to celebrate with Sacred Wind Communications the completion of your redundant fiber route from Gallup to Albuquerque. Connectivity is a big concern for business, schools, and homes in our community. The completion of this project assures that our community will benefit from dependable voice and internet. Your hard work and dedication to making this happen is a great example of your continued investment in our community. On behalf of the Grand Cibola County Chamber of Commerce and the New Mexico Mining Museum, we would like to thank you and congratulate you on your success.
Well, I just want to say congratulations to Sacred Wind and their entire team. What they've done in Northwest New Mexico is nothing short of phenomenal. And now with the new fiber optic line that they're bringing in, the impact of Sacred Wind and what they're able to provide our communities is even more important today than it ever has been. With an ever increasing reliance on internet and broadband, not only for educational purposes and just for our day-to-day lives, but also for the opportunity of economic growth and development that this brings. When you add on top of that, we now have a redundant system so that if a line gets cut, we're no longer cut off from the rest of the world. This has been an important undertaking by Sacred Wind and something that I know that they've been working diligently on for a long time. So to John Badal and the entire crew there at Sacred Wind, the Gallup-McKinley County Chamber says thank you and congratulations, and we wish you continued success. Thank you for being such an invested partner in Northwest New Mexico, and especially in Gallup-McKinley County, and a proud partner with the Gallup-McKinley County Chamber of Commerce. We really appreciate all you do.
Wow, what beautiful and heartwarming messages to our 48 employees. Over the last 4 years that I have been at Sacred Wind, I have witnessed firsthand how the company has seized opportunities, reached monumental goals, lived its mission, and have worked together to bridge the digital divide on rural and tribal lands in Northwest New Mexico. And in this next video, our CEO, John Badal, will elaborate a little more on these topics.
When I was at Quest working for a national organization with major markets outside of New Mexico, it struck me that the more rural areas of New Mexico were not going to be served simply because a national company's attention was elsewhere. And I'm not demeaning this company. It's just they had a different business plan. I had many meetings when I was with Quest. I had many meetings with Navajo leaders who took me from one chapter to another Navajo chapter. I visited with the chapter leaders, and they brought in their people to talk to me about the need for telecommunication services to areas where there were none. And in one particular chapter, at the Nageezi chapter, the chapter president brought in a group of school kids who sang to me, thanking me for my interest in bringing the new world to them. And it struck me that I wasn't going to get this job done working for a company that had a different business plan. So I determined then that I had to do this myself. And so I sat down and spoke with several Navajo leaders about the idea, hoping that they would pick the idea up and carry me through, but all of them asked me if I could do the job myself. And so I did. I left the company. I had enough knowledge of all of the key elements of putting this company together, the legal, the regulatory elements, the technology. I had interviewed a half a dozen companies providing different types of microwave technology and fiber and microwave technology. And after doing some due diligence of about 4 months, I knew that this was possible. And it would take determination and a lot of support from people in New Mexico, people on the ground, to get this thing moving. And we took it step by step. There were, a lot of missteps and there were obstacles to overcome. But we, put our head down and we continued working. And in 2 years, we got this company growing. I knew of its potential. I knew that we could grow to this size and grow out our network even beyond our original plans. But I had no idea that I would love it so much. What I love about the work that we do at Sacred Wind is that we are bringing new services and a level of quality of life to people who haven't been offered this in their lifetime. What I love about working at Sacred Wind is that I have met customers who hug me, other customers who cry when we get our services. And what I especially love about working at Sacred Wind is working with our employees who live our mission on a day-to-day basis. And it's the employees who can get up eager to work, get up out of bed in the morning, eager to go to work, that helps me get out of bed after a long day, eager to go to work again and do the same thing or a new thing over and over again. We at Sacred Wind are always looking at the next level of technology, what the next technology will do to improve the quality of life. And so we've always stayed ahead of the curve. We're also looking at new areas to serve. Sacred Wind service territory encompasses just 15% of Navajo lands in New Mexico, Arizona, and a sliver in Utah. Our service territory in New Mexico comprises 1/3 of Navajo lands just in New Mexico. And our eyes are on the other 2/3 of Navajo lands in New Mexico for our immediate future. We are making plans right now to expand what we're doing in our own service territory outward to serve other parts of Navajo lands and some other rural areas in northwestern New Mexico and newly in southeastern New Mexico. Thank you for sharing with us this very special occasion. We have worked diligently over the last 14 years to provide equality of opportunity and a heightened level of infrastructure development for an area that's been long neglected in northwest New Mexico. This fiber project is a milestone for us in that it puts us at a level of the national carriers that have such fiber routes serving large areas of a given state. This fiber route provides the same equality of opportunity that one would find in a Albuquerque or Denver or a New York City. It will carry that opportunity in the home, in the school, in clinics, and in government offices in northwest New Mexico that you can find in some of the largest cities in the country. This project could not have been achieved without the support that we received from a large community in New Mexico. And they include the state legislators and congressional delegation who have worked hard alongside us to remove the obstacles that make such infrastructural projects possible. I want to give a particular thank you to Senator Tom Udall, who has worked diligently to improve the quality of life in northwestern New Mexico and in the entire state of New Mexico. I also want to thank the USDA for a low interest loan to make this project financially possible for us. I want to thank the Navajo Nation and its beautiful people for supporting us every step of the way. And I want to give a particular big thank you and a warm hug to all of the employees of Sacred Wind who have lived the mission of serving the unserved on a day-to-day basis. Thank you. Yeah.
So this brand new information superhighway, if you will, that Sacred Wind has completed and connected between Gallup and Albuquerque is nothing short of amazing. So let's hear now from Sean Cooper, our Director of Network Technologies, as he explains in a little more detail what it actually took to get this particular job done.
Hi, my name is Sean Cooper. I'm the Director of Network and Technologies for Sacred Wind Communications. I have been with Sacred Wind 11 years now. 10 of those years, I've been working on this project here in particular, almost nonstop. We ran into many common obstacles along the way in this project, including your rough terrain, weather, material availability, kind of run-of-the-mill challenges, obstacles that you'll run into. This project in particular, one of the biggest challenges we face every day, and every day really in rural New Mexico and the tribal lands in delivering services right-of-way. This project, we cross just about every entity, including Forest Service, city, county, state, BIA, BNSF, several different tribes, and of course, private land. It means faster internet, smoother video, and just an all-around better online experience no matter what growth we see or what the next pandemic or the next issue that comes along. We will be able to support this, and we truly are a future-proof network now. Again, between the redundancy that we built into this system and the self-healing capabilities that it now has for reliability, we now have a greater potential of performance. So that means a lot to me. It's been a long project, and I'm very, very happy to see it come to completion. It's been a long haul, and I'm very happy to see that we're done. So it's huge to us in our heart, but it's also a big deal because we accomplished something so large that the big guys couldn't even accomplish. You know, all this time we've had a single run of fiber, and everybody's wanted this redundant path. This path diversity is what we call it in our industry. We've wanted a redundant route so that when that fiber's cut, we don't go down. You know, we're not completely isolated from the world. And little old us, little old Sacred Wind, we were able to come in, and over 10 years of just hard work and dedication, our fiber guys, and again, we don't have multiple teams of fiber, you know, crews. We have a couple fiber guys. They were out there literally in the middle of the night, 2 a.m, splicing fiber, testing, turning it up. My electronics guys, my network engineers, again, they were programming and designing this network 24/7. I mean, especially here towards the end, it's been a huge push to get this turned up. Again, this is not an everyday thing for us. So to be able to deliver these services and to be able to finish this project with a small team that we have was nothing short of amazing. I mean, I'm honored and deeply, well, just honored to have been able to work with the professionals that we have here at Sacred Wind, really.
Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed sharing this moment with us and spending time with us today. For all of you who have been a part of our village, and yes, it takes a village, a special thanks. We're coming up with the ribbon cutting right now, but I'd be very remiss if I didn't mention some particular individuals who have been in our corner and have supported us as part of our village all along. And they include Representatives Wanda Johnson, Anthony Allison, Patty Lundstrom, and Harry Garcia, State Senators Michael Padilla and Shannon Pinto, Navajo Nation Telecom Regulatory Executive Director Chris Vicente, and Arvin Trujillo at the Navajo Regulatory Commission. Our Navajo chapter leaders and Sacred Wind's Natani Advisory Board, and the newly elected U.S. Senator Ben Ray Lujan, and the retiring U.S. Senator Tom Udall, the Chamber of Commerce leadership of both Gallup and Grants, and all of our dedicated employees. Thank you very much for being with us today, and please enjoy the ribbon cutting now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.